So I am now officially halfway through my presidency. It has been a wonderful journey with its highs and with its lows. Halfway through is a good moment to review, regroup, and reforecast. When I stood before you last year and discussed our goals, I shared with you that we wanted to share a stronger sense of community by reaching out to our members as individuals through small groups of Havarot and by participating in the URJ's community of practice to understand the needs of our baby boomers. We now have over 19 Havarot with over 250 members. Our Baby Boomer Initiative has had almost 200 participants in programs designed especially for them over a period of 6 months. And as an extra tidbit of information, our membership has grown by approximately 3% from the 2016-2017 fiscal year. Our day in preschool, which had exceeded past numbers by close to 17% over the past 3 years, now has a waiting list. We welcomed a new preschool director, Jennifer Ashton Lalo, and on July 1st, our day school will welcome our new educational technical director, Jennifer Carey. Jennifer fulfills a new niche in today's educational market and will establish an environment that encourages creative and independent use of instructional technology. Our day school is still searching for a Judaic Studies director, and we thank Dr. Lenore Kipper, who has so generously stepped into the role as we continue our search. It was also one of my goals to re-examine our leadership development process. I wanted and still want to create a stronger pipeline for leadership that will encourage our younger members to stay engaged. I am happy to report that last week we sent out via snail mail invitations to over 25 congregants, inviting them to participate in our new Atidenu program. The word Atidenu means our future, and it is my wish that we prepare the next group of leaders for Beth Am. Participants will study and learn everything from the history of Beth Am and Reform Judaism to the relationship between the lay leadership and professional staff. The new program will start after the high holidays. Our board members have been hard at work. We have negotiated employee contracts, authorized building repairs, and participated in a board training with Rabbi Stephen Kay from Colorado. We recently revised the ritual portion of our policies and procedures with Vice President of Religious Life, Tracy Spiegelman. They presented the board with a major change on our policy for interfaith marriage. We now state that we recognize that intermarriage is not uncommon. As such, with the approval and the consent of the senior rabbi, Temple Beth Am clergy may perform intermarriage ceremonies in or outside of the synagogue if the couple meets the criteria of the officiant for marriage. The wedding ceremony must be Jewish in nature and not incorporate religious practices or rites of other faiths. Co-officiation with non-Jewish clergy is not permitted. I am hoping to present and approve revisions to our membership policies and procedures at our board meeting this coming Tuesday. I hope that our board reviews and votes on any possible changes for the remaining sections by this time next year. I have also designated a task force led by Richard Siegel to review our bylaws, which were last reviewed in 2007. In the end, Beth Am, a home for our people, is a community. A community is not a place or an organization, but a feeling or set of relationships between people to meet common needs. We come here to celebrate our simchas, find solace for our grief, pursue both intellectual and spiritual pursuits. We must not forget, however, the business of our business. A temple this size needs to create a strong endowment and legacy campaign. As such, we have hired a new development director, Ilana Galit. Ilana comes to us with a strong knowledge base of fundraising and endowment development. Jewish day schools around the country are shrinking. We have a waiting list. Temples are closing. We are growing not just with empty nesters and baby boomers, but with young families who want a Jewish spiritual home, a community. We have hired additional staff. We have increased our membership, and we have increased our student population. All this has presented us with a wonderful challenge. We are growing, and we are running out of physical space. This wonderful challenge has afforded us the opportunity to dream as to how to grow our campus and our school. And our rabbi is dreaming. He dreams of a day when our campus is transformed into a place where all of our Jewish needs can be met, where we can congregate routinely for both social and spiritual activity that unite the bonds of our community. He dreams of a day when Temple Beth Am truly is the Jewish home away from home for each member of the Temple Beth Am family. We are at the very beginning stages of a new beginning for Beth Am. With a generous gift, we have been able to interview and hire the New York architectural firm Perkins and Eastman, who are diligently working with our building committee led by Dan Kofsky to plan the campus of the future. Perkins and Eastman have held various meetings with our clergy, day school, religious school, administration, and representatives from various committees to assess what our needs and wants are. We hope to present a massing plan to the Village of Pinecrest in the next month. The massing study will illustrate the size of the buildings and their locations. Once we have received the green light from the village, we will start our capital campaign, which is being led by Stuart Ratson and Richard Siegel. Our capital campaign committee represents a cross-section of our community: day school parents, empty nesters, and grandparents. Beth Am was founded by visionaries over 50 years ago. Past leadership has always understood the importance of looking ahead, anticipating the needs and wants of our congregations. Just as people fear becoming irrelevant as we age, so too do institutions. An institution that encompasses a day school and a temple, a campus that is home to over 1,500 families, cannot rest nor rely on its past successors. We must look forward and become even better in a fast-paced, changing world. So please join us, our clergy, and those who have afforded us this wonderful gift of encouragement and support. Let's work together to remain the forward-thinking institution we always have been. I remind you that it is our collective responsibility to keep our synagogue vibrant. Join us, and let's grow together. And I would now like to turn the meeting over to Bob Hirsch, who will present his financial report.
So I'm standing in front of 6 ex-bosses, or 5 ex-bosses and 1 present boss, and 2 that aren't here. Believe it or not, it is 13 years that I started this. I would like to start this backwards. So I noticed that we have several of our Temple Administrative Director staff. Would you stand if you're here? Michelle, Shari, I know you're here. Alana, Rita. Very quickly, before you sit down, I get a lot of accolades for what happens here and for our bottom line. But it's not I who does all of this work. It is these folks, along with our other directors that are not here, that really make it happen. Rita is celebrating her 20th anniversary this year. Shari, as our camp director and communications director, is starting camp tomorrow. Michelle, who has organized our ASU program, our bridge program, our basketball program, brings to the bottom line in excess of 6 figures every year. And Alana, our newest hire and greatest dreamer, is going to help us raise the kind of money we need for endowment, buildings, whatever we need to do. So please join me in thanking them. We mailed out the numbers, so you've seen the numbers. And I promised to be short, pardon the pun, and glad some of you got it. We finished last year with a significant, last year being the fiscal year ending last July, with a significant surplus of over $400,000. Last year was the 5th year of surpluses consecutively. I'm anticipating, based on our forecasting for this year, because most of this year is over for us, that this year we will again have a 6-figure surplus exceeding $300,000. That's done by all of you who are in this room. To give you a bit of history, in the first few years, in the early, not the early, but in the 2005, 6s, and 7s, we were losing considerable amounts of money. In the past 6 years, I'm sorry, I have to lift this, we have earned a surplus of $2,159,000, of which we have spent $785,677 on capital expenditures. That doesn't mean that's all we spent on capital expenditures, but that's all that had to come out of our operating account. This is another dynamic change in the way this temple is run. When we talk about surpluses, as my friend Bill Grossman will always remind me, our operating surplus is offset by what we spend on what we need to keep this place going, whether it be computer systems, wireless systems, the brand new carpet that we put into the social hall last year for $100,000. These are funded not only through your operations, the smallest of which comes from there, but also from our reserve accounts and also from a lot of donations that come from specific people who give to certain areas. There are a number of people. There's one family that believes so much in security that they have given us over $150,000 in this year alone to improve the security on this campus. I don't know if you've noticed, but we now have 2 armed guards here all week during the week. We have armed guards here during services on Friday and Saturday. We are locked and loaded. We are secure. Under Sharon, we have this year changed security in the classrooms that we have the ability to lock down not only every classroom, but every building with a swipe of a card that 3 of us have. 4 of us, if you count Dr. Starr, I'm sorry. So we have the ability to protect the 485 children that attend school every day or the kids that attend religious school on Sunday or during the week. We are really secure. The Parkland incident, of course, woke everybody up, although we were not asleep, but woke everybody up and put a special aim towards making sure we were secure. We are among the top 20 synagogues in revenue in this country out of 900 Reformed synagogues. We are unusual that we continue to not only maintain, but increase membership. We are unusual that in days of dying day schools, our day school under the leadership of Deborah Starr, Susie Novak, who's here with us, Jennifer Ashland Lilo, who's not with us today, our early childhood, Carrie Altman, and their whole team have created a school that is just incredible with waiting lists on the early grades and 3 and 4 classes on grades that 2 years ago had 2 and 3. We've accomplished a lot, but it's all because of all of you that belong, all of you that serve, all of you that work here, and for that, I thank all of you. So we're looking forward to another good year. We have our budget set for next year. Get those membership forms in, help Rita raise her goals, and we'll see you back here again next year. I left something out because I did this a couple years ago, and it was a hit, so repeat a hit. Some statistics, offhand oddball statistics. Our campus was open last year 363 days. Our phones were answered 13,000 times. Our Temple Bethlehem website has had 576,745 views so far this year. Thank you, Neil. Our guards have worked over 12,000 hours. 260 children in 18 different schools in 7 different types of programs attend Temple Bethlehem after school every day. Basketball had over 1,000 kids, 100 volunteers who played over 600 games. 60 bridge players played 6,500 hands of bridge. 20,024 lunches were prepared for the day school. 5,000 people enjoyed our pre-negs. Over 12,000 meals were served by our caterers, and over 22,000 individual licenses were swiped by our guards. This is a big business. So just some unusual numbers for you to remember when you go home. I'll put them on the website for you.